Well, my name is Mike Hayden. You could say I'm a professional business consultant. I help businesses that are in trouble and work with them financially to get them out of trouble and save the business. That's what I do a few days a week, and when I'm not doing that, I'm playing in the garden or four-wheel driving and camping. So, well, what we're doing here at the moment, currently we travel to Port Macquarie. We have a little farm and we get most of our produce from. And what we're doing at the moment is we're going to start growing a lot of tomatoes and vegetables and be more sustainable. Our goal is within 10 weeks to be able to eat one meal a week out of the garden that we've grown and produced ourselves here in the backyard. So it's just better quality food, it's easier, and I suppose, you know, if you can survive for yourself, you can always look after yourself. So yeah, we're looking to turn this property into more sustainability. Like I said, at the moment we go up the coast to get most of our produce, and yeah, we want to see if we can start growing it here and grow better quality food and be more control of what we eat. This is basically the first project, the vegetable garden. This here pretty much after about 1 o'clock is in full sun all afternoon, which is great. So this is going to be our main vegetable patch, our main vegetable garden. We've got the aquaponics set up there, we've just started. When you start aquaponics, there's a lot to learn and to understand. So how aquaponics works is down the bottom here. We run silver perch, we will. At the moment there's none in there. So when you first get your aquaponics tank, I started with rainwater. If you start with tap water, there's a lot longer period to sort it out, get all the chlorines and all the chemicals and fluorides and stuff that are put in there. So we actually start off with rainwater and fill this up with rainwater, which makes it a lot easier to get it going. So what happens is you put your water in the bottom, then there's a pump, which we actually run off a solar panel. I'm actually testing a few panels on top of the roof over there, but the pumps all run on solar. You run your fish in the bottom, fish do the business in the bottom and create all your nutrients and your nitrogen and that sort of stuff. And what happens is the pump pumps all the water up through these pipe around the edges, fills up, and it sits in about, it takes about half an hour for that water to run back down through the bottom. And when the water's pumped up through the top, what it's actually doing is filtering the water for the fish, so cleaning all the bad stuff out of the water and all the waste that the fish have created through the clay pellets, and the plants actually use it for nitrogen, and that's where they get their food from. So it's a filtration system for the fish, but also it's a food system for the plants. So it just runs on a timer, all on solar power, which just continues filtering the water. So in 4 weeks we'll run about 20 silver perch in there. So it'll get to a stage where it just pretty much looks after itself, and our job is just to feed the fish. So.
Do you also consume your fish? Are you doing this project in order to...
Depends who you ask. My wife says we're not eating the fish. But what I'll do is I'll go down to the shops and I'll buy some fish from the shops and bring them home, eat them for dinner, and so they just might disappear from the tank. Yeah. But no, we will eventually consume the fish and eat the fish. So we'll be able to have fish and salad all out of one production system. So these cherry tomatoes, this plant actually here self-seeded itself. We actually didn't put it in. That was actually this is our strawberry plant. All of a sudden one day we started growing tomatoes out of it. So, and they've been very good. Recently we've been getting about 10 or 12 cherry tomatoes off it sort of every 2 or 3 weeks, which is good. So, but yeah, self-seeded, come out of nowhere and it's grown itself. So yeah, so we run a few tomato plants along here. And most of this is vegetables along this side here, and as we come around this side here, it gets into more herbs. And we've got a few onions here at the moment, just until they get a bit bigger, and we'll move them down the back. But this is all herbs over this way, and we've got some mint and some thyme. So, and we've got our 2 citrus trees in there. This compost bin here, I was on YouTube, searching YouTube on how to make a home tumbler compost bin, and I thought I'd jump on Gumtree, and I actually found this on Gumtree for $15. So very local, flew down and grabbed it. It was actually kids at a school did it as a project. I picked it up, it was missing the latch. So the latch here is actually a chain off a motorcycle, which I welded on, split pin, and this U-bolt's actually off a diff of a car, so an old one laying around. So yeah, we only just loaded it up on Friday, so I just got it finished and going. So big tumbler. So it's pretty simple. If you search YouTube, you can see a million different instructions on way to make these, but I was lucky enough to pick one off Gumtree for $15, pretty much already done, so saved me the time and effort. So, but we actually run 3 compost bins here, so and also we've got a worm farm just around the back as well. It's pretty simple. Just throw everything in and give it a turn every couple of days. So Run that there. Looks nice and healthy in there, so great. And here's our worm farm, which just look it off here. There's our little worms. Oh. They like to disappear when you lift it up, so put down the bottom there, so you get trying to feed. So with the worm farm, pretty much every couple of days, just give it a drink of water, let it sit, and then you come back and just turn the tap on, and you get the tea out of the bottom, and you use the tea on all your fruit and vegetables and that sort of stuff, so for fertiliser. When I said workshops, what I was talking about more in the future with our farm, yeah, pretty much we want to be able to teach people about permaculture, living on the land, and be able to grow your own stuff. So eventually it'd be good if we can, my mum's she's a foster carer, and I suppose I see these kids that come through her homes have been taught nothing in life really. When you meet these kids that go through my mum's homes and my mum's house, and I suppose what we'd like to do is be able to have the farm there and those kids to come over and learn where milk comes from, how to grow fruit and vegetables and look after themselves and learn those life skills that we all get to learn as kids. And yes, so the irrigation system, it's all gravity fed, so we actually require no pumps to run it. As I said, it runs from the tank up there. I did have a test this morning, but yeah, it's all in and set up, ready to go. You just open the tap on the tank, and we will actually eventually get onto a timer, and it just automatically waters the garden. So when we do go travelling, when we have it set up on the 5,000 litre tank, we can just turn it on, leave it go, put the timer on, and we know that our garden's going to get watered continuously, and looked after, so when we're not around, things don't die. And so this is one of our water tanks that only holds 2,500 litres of water. What we're going to be doing is, you can see the pipe up the top. What I do when it rains, now that's actually the overflow. I shift this grey bucket over there, catch a bit of excess water, because at the moment, like I said, it only holds 2,500 litres. So I move it over when it rains to catch a bit more water. So here's our grey water setup. Onion drum, cost me about 12 bucks. There's 5 of us that live here, so we go through a bit of water. We've actually got 2 front loader washing machines in there. Just run the hoses out the window into here. We'll just catch the grey water. And I just went and brought this tap. The tap was about 6 or 7 bucks from Bunnings. Drilled a hole, put it in there, and we run the blue hose all around down the back and into the garden right over on the right side of the property. And pretty much you just open the tap up. That'll run out now. Water the garden down there on a soaker hose. No electricity required, and also you're reusing your grey water and saving your water, so I'm watering your plants rather than using fresh water, if you can call it that, the water out of the taps. Just you're recycling your grey water for your plants. So yeah, so it's a very easy setup, just to run the hoses from your washing machines out through a window into a bucket and off to a hose. Done. Let's move this. And this is basically our other vegetable patch and our herb patch we've had for quite a few years. As you can see, it hasn't had a bit of love lately, so what we're going to be doing is just in front of that fence there, putting a 5,000 litre tank. Once I've got the tank there, I'll then move the fence in front of the tank. I'm going to set up on a timer and a drip system, and we can catch this water over here at the moment from the house, which gets wasted. Once we've got a 5,000 litre water tank there, I've just put an irrigation system down the back. We'll have it on a timer, and it'll water this vegetable patch and also the vegetable patch down the back, so which will do it all by itself. So when we're not here and we're travelling on our trips, the vegetable patch and garden's getting watered. So yeah, these are our potato stacks. Potatoes, they love sucking the nutrients out of the ground. So with a stack, what happens is you put the potatoes in the bottom, and as they grow and the roots start coming out, you put more hay around, and you drop more dirt in, more hay, more dirt, and basically grow it all the way up here. And what it's doing is, because you're putting the dirt and the hay and everything in there, the nutrients are coming out all out of here. It's not actually taking it out of your ground. So you can grow potatoes up, and yeah, within about 3 or 4 months, that'll be a basic bag of potatoes in dirt. So that's a potato stack. So this one here is normal potato. The one at the back is actually red potato, and I'll be making another potato stack next week, which was actually going to grow sweet potatoes in it. So. And also, if you see the vegetables, the tomato plants at the front there, I've actually put all the rocks around them. So what that'll do, because we know we've got winter coming up, is create a thermal mass of a day when the sun's shining and it gets hot. the rocks will heat up, and overnight it'll actually keep the temperature of the soil up, so hopefully we can grow some tomatoes during winter. So we're going to give it a go. The thing at the moment is the cost to become off grid. It's just everything that is, you know, when you look into solar energy, it's the cost of getting off the grid and the payback and the time and the effort. And the more research I do into it, the more I start to learn and understand where actually you can do it, which without having to go out and spend a fortune on a huge solar system. But over the years, the next few years, the technology will come in where, yeah, a place like this, you can live in Sydney, you can live off the grid. So I suppose what's really made the change in me to do all this, I've always been to go out and make money, and I suppose my attitude always in life is to go out and make money. You've got to look after yourself. And the older I've gotten, more mature I've got, I've actually realised that, you know, there's two things in life you need: it's family and food. And if I can create my own food and I've got my family, well, we'll be able to survive, and that's all that really matters. So, yeah. The reason for the farm and getting the farm going is when we leave our kids that they've always got they've always got shelter and food, regardless of what happens with the world. That we're going to have a place that we can always, you know, feed our family and have a roof over our heads. So, yeah.